yeah, but I can't go for that. No, no, no can do. I can't go for that. No, no, no can do. I can't go for that. No, no, no can do. I can't go.
Please introduce yourself.
My name is Amy Kaherl, and I'm the executive director of Detroit Soup.
Okay, what's Detroit Soup?
So Detroit Soup's a micro-granting dinner that funds creative projects for the city of Detroit. It's a pitch dinner, kind of like Shark Tank, but minus the jerks. So folks pre-submit their ideas through our website, or in a neighborhood soup there's drop-off points, and they answer 4 questions, and then they present their idea in front of the diners. They have 4 minutes to do it, and then 4 questions back. And then the diners get to eat, share, connect, and vote. And whoever has the most votes at the end of the night wins the money from the door, because there's a suggested donation of about $5.
Okay, so how did you even start doing all of this? Because as you gave that spiel, that is very concentrated and direct. So how did it come all about?
Sure. So at the end of 2009, there was a group of women and our friend Freddie got together and started working on a women's event, and realized that we had a lot in common. One of these women was Kate Dodrell, who was a student at Cranbrook and had experienced a dinner in Chicago. And so the dinner was supposed to be around small arts funding, with maybe 50 tops people at the dinner. And instead, over time, Detroiters were like, well, can I submit this idea and this idea? And we learned that when you keep it open and free and you don't silo it, it has a huge longevity and long-term success. And people are excited about the mystery of what's going on within their community and how people are thinking about it. And that's been really amazing to watch, not just in Detroit, but around the world.
Okay, so since 2009, how much money has Detroit Soup given to just these different Detroiters with
Sure.
good ideas?
So we've done 120 dinners, I believe. And we've raised over $112,000 from Detroiters back to Detroiters.
Okay, now, as this is going on, what has been some of the most strange or interesting or just standout presentations that you remember?
I mean, I've been at this now for almost 6 years, so every year is different. So like 2010, it was just people who hadn't even formulated the idea more than just maybe it had popped in their head. That first year, people were asking to like bail people out of jail, and which, you know, that's cool, but it wasn't really resonating with folks. In 2012, it was really, a ton of it was about land use. And think about it, you can see how people are starting to activate themselves, and then all of a sudden, you know, Mayor Duggan gets elected and you get activation, and so people aren't coming up with those projects anymore because they feel like the change is already happening in their community. So it's just hearing voices from the ground and hearing how people are saying, this is how I think our neighborhood could be a little bit better.
Okay, now with what you do with Detroit Soup, I don't even know how to label it, because to be a philanthropist, I figure you have to be like a billionaire and have a chauffeur and all of this type of stuff. And then
Sure.
also you're getting a lot of collaborative energy. But as much as you do what I think I gotta label as philanthropy, you're also one of the best things in life, and you're a DJ.
Well, I mean, we can talk about DJing in a second, but let's go back to what you were just talking about, which
Okay.
is, yeah, I guess I'm a civic philanthropist. So you ask about what you perceive as philanthropy as somebody who has made it a lot of money and they feel like they can give. Well, I think that's a dying art. I think that we don't live in a culture where big money flows in that kind of way any longer. And I think if you really want to make communal changes, you got to do it from the ground up. So I see myself as a civic philanthropist, as a theologian, as a musician, as an artist, as a creative thinker. And so, yeah, you can put things into a box, but they just stay in that box, where what soup allows is just for that connection, for that exchange, for the mystery, for civic participation, for philanthropic giving. it's easier to take risks with $5. It's harder to take risks with 50. It's even harder to do with 500, and it's hard to do anything with less than 5,000. So, you can see the efforts around crowdfunding, but I think you said something really special a while ago that connected with me, Kari, that you said, I don't see people like me who win at crowdfunding. And I can say, yeah, online it sucks. It's too hard. I mean, when you think about how much access or lack thereof in this city in regards to the internet, and then you're talking about giving on top of it, that's not happening. So if you can get people into a room and realize that there's a lot more knowledge and activity and awesomeness that can get exchanged, and it's immediate, and you don't have to get through the third wall, and you don't have to be mega professional, it levels the playing field.
Yeah, I think this is your interview, but just from my perspective, what I love about Soup the most is that you get a chance to talk to the other people to see what they're going to vote on that aren't presenting. And then just get their whole spiel for, what you think the effort is, and, the sincerity of the passion of the person bringing that forward.
Mm-hmm.
And is it feasible to move forward with? So being that you've launched so many different projects, and now into neighborhood soups and everything,
Mm-hmm.
it's an amazing venture.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I'm really proud of the work that my team puts forth. There's so many volunteers on this project. I feel like everybody who's given $5 is a part of the project, and it's giving people permission to feel safe in an unsafe space. And I think that's something that we sorely lack in our communities. And we keep hoping that somebody else is going, church used to be the places in a community where you would get your social services and support. And since probably the 50s and the 60s, that's slowly been declining, and declining so much now that you feel the weight, like the chasms it's left within the community. And so schools and government have to take on the responsibilities that these entities used to be. But I think that's what we're just trying to do, is create a culture of safety within the space that we've created.
And as you talk about culture, perfect shift over to the other thing. Like I said, you're a DJ. Nothing elegant. What's Nothing Elegant?
So Nothing Elegant is a dance party, always the second Saturday at the Old Miami, that my friend Sarah Aldridge and I decided that we would start 4+ years ago. And it came out of her and I had been asked with a few other ladies to play our friend Nova's birthday party. And when Sarah and I showed up, I think half of our records were the same. And we were having really fun doing one-to-one, playing off of each other. So she'd drop a record, then I'd drop a record, she'd drop a record. And that's hard. It's a hard thing to do. And really good DJs and guys will be like, I don't do it that way. Because you lose control. And you have to know your catalog, and you have to know what's up. And so we had asked a dude if we could play records with him. And he was like, no, we take this really seriously. And we were like, what? And there was very large expletives of like, F you. We'll just do it ourselves. So we were at the Woodbridge pub because we both used to live in Woodbridge, and we just connected and said, hey, why don't we just throw this party? What do we have to lose? Detroit was very different in 2011. There was that space to grow and a space to fail. And, people were so, we lived in such a tight-knit community. Not to say that we don't now, it's just a lot has changed. I don't know almost anybody who comes to Nothing Elegant anymore. When we first started, it was just our buddies who wanted to support two ladies trying to do something. And we never call it a ladies DJ night, because I never see an all-male review. It's just called DJs. So for us, Nothing Elegant came from a photo of Amelia Earhart standing next to her plane. It said, Nothing Elegant, Amelia in her coveralls next to her plane. And we were like, that's such a baller name. And I think it gave us permission that we didn't have to perform at 1,000% every time we played. We just wanted to support women playing music, and we would rotate women through. And now it's just her and I, because it's become a beast of it unto its own. But we still bring in partners all the time to come and play, It's just hip hop dance. No one wants to be in a wedding at a dirty dance club on a Saturday, you know. But you also don't want to go listen to someone's B-side collection on a Saturday either. Sometimes you just gotta dance yourself clean. You gotta sweat it out. You gotta get a little hammered. But it's the unity in the space. And I think, you know, for a while there, those first couple of years, it was all women behind the bar and all women playing music. And they would be like, we never have problems when you ladies come. And you always bring the most people. And, you know, sometimes like a big show will happen, like Rodriguez will play or something. But, you know, consistently every month we bring it. And I think it's because we don't have to say anything to hype up the crowd. The music does it on its own. And we're good at picking songs and selecting and dropping it hot like it's hot. And we used to a lot more in the past than it is presently, but we used to just get in the middle of the dance floor and just dance. And just like, you give people permission when you have fun. And that's something that I've learned all the time. It doesn't have to be the biggest. It's not a TV show, Soup. It's not a TV show that there's no reality TV that I do and it's nothing elegant. It's just, you give people permission to have fun when you're having fun. And when you create a relaxed, safe environment where people feel, look, women run the show anyways, they're coming. Guys will follow suit. So I wasn't interested in power or ego with Nothing Elegant. I just wanted to create a really good time.
Okay, now, as that good time has been the same question, because I've been a couple of times and already seen some wild parties. So what's something memorable about Nothing Elegant that stands out in your mind?
Oh, Benicio del Toro showed up 2 summers ago and like hung out. We took shots of tequila in the backyard.
Okay. Did he do anything from Usual Suspects? He didn't quote anything from Usual Suspects?
No. No, it was fun. It was, you know, I think, you know, 2 New Years ago, we threw a giant party that was just like, it was $10 to get in or $5 if you brought a pizza. It just was fun, and it just should be fun and like easy access, and you pay the artists and you just have a good time. Like, you know, when Soup wasn't going super well financially for me, Nothing Elegant was paying the bills. Like, I'd hustled really hard. But you have to, if you want to forge your own path.
Okay, now, with that being said, what do you have in the Oasis? If you've been traveling the world, you've been doing a whole lot of other things. So what creative are you about to add to the mix? Because I know you got something up.
Well, it's about timing. I'm so busy. So, like, I'm going to embark on, like, the next project with Soup that it's just not worth talking about at this moment because it's just so an ideation phase. So it's a lot of ideating. It's a lot of, like, fundraising for the organization of Soup. You know, I've thought about taking some improv classes because, I need another outlet because playing music was supposed to be the outlet, but it became a job, you know. And now, like right now that it's the holidays, all of a sudden I'm doing, you know, I'm getting texts and or messages a day of saying, hey, will you come play this really last minute holiday party? And it needs to not be a job for me. It needs to still stay fun so that it's fresh. Like last month I hadn't played in a month and it was the most wonderful like thing to get up on that stage. Like I had a sequin dress on, gold shoes, and like a stack of records that I hadn't played in a while, and it just had fun. Like it was just fun. It was just what it needed it to be, which was fun. And that's what I always strive to do. If it's not having fun, then like what's the point?
Well, thank you so much. Can you give any parting words and then ways for people to get in contact with you?
Yeah, if you have an idea and you're thinking, I don't know if this is a good idea or not, bring it to Soup. People will help you and give you tons of feedback. And if you're interested in that, it's DetroitSoup.com. On Twitter, it's @DetroitSoup, Facebook, Detroit Soup. If you're interested in Nothing Elegant, we have our Facebook page, which is just type in Nothing Elegant. Or you can follow me on Twitter at Amy Kaherl, AMYKAHERL.
Thank you so much.
You got it.
I should have left your